Hello and welcome to my next vlog, where today I want to talk about objectives. Now, I'm very consciously not going to discuss lots of underpinning theory, but simply what I have observed. I'm fortunate enough to have observed hundreds and hundreds of teachers in many different settings, and having taught the PGCE for many years, it's enabled me to travel to many fascinating places to observe teaching and learning. So I want you to imagine the last film you went to see. You probably were inspired by a brilliant trailer, which had a great storyline, great characters, but something inspired you to go and watch that film. Now, I like to think of setting objectives as a bit like a trailer. It's an opportunity to inspire students with what they are going to be doing in the lesson. Now, there are a whole host of ways to set objectives. It could be written on the board, PowerPoint slides, set in images. Students may even be writing their own objectives. But I like to think of them to be categorised in 4 levels of quality, which I think can really have an impact on student engagement. So I'm going to take you through those 4 stages in reverse order. So at level 4, this is where no objectives are set. Sadly, I do see this at times, and it can be really confusing for students as to what the intent of the lesson is, why they are there, what is the sequencing, i.e. how does it fit into previous learning and that scheme of work, and what actually is the teacher even assessing against. So at level 3, the teacher now shows the objectives, but it's done in a very passive way which doesn't really engage the students. It's simply shown, and the teacher merely tells them what they are doing. It feels somewhat tokenistic, and if you were to ask students 5 minutes later what the objectives of the lesson are, they would often struggle to explain them. So level 2, we're now moving to a stronger position, and this is where the teacher shares the objectives, but there's now discussion around how these link to prior learning, i.e. the sequencing, how it may link to upcoming summative assessment. The teacher engages the group in this discussion, explaining the objectives within context. And if you're to ask the students moments later, can they articulate the objectives, they certainly will be able to do so in their own words. Now, level 1, this is where I think it's a really strong place. Now, everything I've already described takes place, but in addition, there's strong initial assessment to ascertain the starting point of all of the students, i.e. who's in a very strong position and who therefore can be stretched further, and who perhaps needs more support in that particular class. I've seen this done really well where students complete a self-assessment, i.e. they grade the objectives at the beginning of the lesson to assess their prior knowledge. They do it again at the end of the lesson to measure that distance travelled. The students should be able to clearly identify the intent of the lesson, therefore, and specifically the objectives they will be engaging in. In addition, they will fully understand how the current lesson fits into the overall scheme of work. They're clear in the sequencing of the course, and these are key words that Ofsted are going to test in their deep dives. So aiming for level 1 will be like a great trailer to a film. You want to inspire the learners of what's coming up, why it's important to them. So in other words, the students can't wait to learn that lesson, and they'll certainly be motivated in your class. I hope those 4 stages make good sense. In a future vlog, I would like the opportunity to talk about more theoretical underpinning. But for now, aiming for number 1, I think can make a really good, strong, punchy start to your lesson. Thank you very much.